Blog Talk Radio.
We are back with a new video. I want to say, first of all, thank you to my audience. So today we're going to be going down memory lanes. We're going to be answering to some allegations that have been out about us, about me, about the Wiley Show. Of course, a member of the Circle NYC had a strong allegation, and he accused me of raping and drugging his friend JuankiPro, his former friend JuankiPro. So I was on Sean Bradley's live, and he said, do you hear what he said about you? First of all, I got another phone call from somebody else that he's putting this allegation out that you raped and drugged someone. And I said, what is he talking about? He said he's talking about JuankiPro. And so I went on Sean Bradley's live last night, and we talked. I had a conversation, and I talked with Melly B and Sean Bradley on his Patreon, right? So on my Instagram, you pretty much heard the recording on the Instagram for those that missed it. And so Melly B was like, I was on the FaceTime, and I was like, that did not happen. So I'm going to tell you all step by step of what happened when JuankiPro came on my house. Now, many of you all don't know this name. JuankiPro was a YouTuber. And JuankiPro is a fellow YouTuber that used to do YouTube commentary on the Wiley Show with Ahmad Wiggins interview. That when Ahmad Wiggins interviewed my family, he was the first and only blogger that did commentary on that interview. JuankiPro was also a fellow YouTuber that did videos, reviews on the Circle NYC. Me and JuankiPro were cordial on the internet, and he was coming to Dallas, Texas, and he came to Dallas, Texas for the interview with me. Now, mind you, I picked him up from the hotel. He came to my house, and we did the interview. I'm going to play the interview that we did. Also, I'm going to play Markel, which is a fellow member of Chase in Dallas. And Markel put obligations on Wiley with my friend. You know, he put this out last year, but nobody know what he's talking about. Oh, when my friend got free. And this is what Markel had to say. I want you all to listen very clearly on what Markel had to say concerning me and this friend, because it's not the first time I've heard this allegation from other people, not from JuankiPro. These are people that are allegedly supposed to be friends with JuankiPro or around JuankiPro. But mind you, they were neither one of them were at the apartment doing this night. So this was the interview that Markel did last year with Ear Hustling Podcast. And I'm going to share that, screen share that with you all. Give me a second. I'm going to put that one down. Let me screen share this first. What Markel did. Okay, here we go.
He couldn't reach nobody in there. Wiley was trying to set him up in that damn house. So he got fucking free.
Oh. So Wiley, so you saying Wiley out here is like
so
basically
let's go back to the 36.
Then I'm watching it live. I'm watching. I'm like, okay, this interview about 3 hours long. It's here. Why would you go to somebody's house who makes a comment like this? Yeah, I had 2 places, but my first place I was catfishing people. What the fuck?
Yeah. Now Markel is talking about me in the interview. For of course, Markel was, first of all, he was on my good friend James Cooper podcast. He asked him some questions concerning me, and Markel is answering the questions. So let me play this through so you all can hear it, and I'll be back for some commentary on it. Let's press play.
That's what.
So you want to do interviews with somebody like that?
Hold on, he said Reese was staying at that apartment. Is that what he was saying?
No, that ain't what he said. No, that ain't what he said. I'm gonna tell you what. Hold on, let me tell you exactly what he said. What he said was he said that he digged Reese down in that apartment. And he said where he catfished people. Not only did he dig Reese down in that apartment, but he also, I think King Kane, they were sucking each other's dick in that apartment.
They was oral, and he was saying King Kane was saying being real feminine to him.
This is true. I'm gonna tell you how I know this is true, because when I made the post about it, because I took the clip and I made the post, and Reese said yes.
Well, Reese had already told me that.
And King Kane, he never responded. He didn't say yes or no, this, that, and the other. So I'm just going to take that as a yeah. Matter of fact, I challenge, if King Kane is watching, I challenge him to be the next.
Kane is very open, and Kane will tell the truth if that's what it is.
Yeah, I want him to be the next guest of Chasing Dallas.
But that was my other issue with him. But then I have a personal thing with him with Wiley.
Oh, okay.
Personal, because I'll never go over there.
Yeah, so this is what he said. He had a personal thing. So here, Markel out, and he's giving his perspective of what happened with the interview with me and JuankiPro. This happened. Let me give you the date. This happened about 2 years ago, back in 2018, the beginning year of 2018. So I'm going to play that interview. But first, let's see what Markel have to say. Let me press play.
You want the dick?
Absolutely not. Because you need to be able to look at me. Absolutely not. You're not hopping. No.
I understand.
Anyway, so I had a friend who does blogging as well and does YouTube videos, and he does interviews and stuff. He came down to Dallas from New York. And Wiley was going to do an interview with him. So I said, okay, cool. So I said, okay, so when you get done with the interview, let me know that we can go get some drinks, blah, blah, blah. Then I'm watching it live. I'm watching. I'm like, okay, this interview about 3 hours long. I'm getting tired of him sitting on the floor. And then finally the interview was over, and I couldn't reach him. Calling, couldn't reach him. And then all of a sudden Wiley calls me, was like, yeah, he's drunk, he's loud. I need you to come and get your friend. He's doing this and that and the other. I think we have to call the cops or something. But Uber, I'm like, what are you talking about? So mind you, I've still never met him. I don't know how he even got my number. So finally, my friend ended up getting free. Mind you, keyword free. So I knew what hotel he was going to be at. I met him at the hotel. As soon as I pull up at the hotel, because it's going to end up going there. So when I pull up in the hotel and I park and I walked up,
Markel, you so damn messy. You know that.
I tell the truth because I couldn't.
Pause. Now he's hearing that he was not there, and he said, "Oh, the friend gonna be free." Listen, let's just keep playing. Let's keep playing and keep listening.
Facts.
He got free, right? He got free.
Keyword.
Like he was being held
the keyword is
captive
free.
or
I'm gonna come back to that.
Okay.
So when I get to the hotel, I see him walking in, and he was so glad to see me. I was like, "What happened?" He said that Wiley he didn't drug him, but he gave him a lot of drinks. Right?
See, that's the part that I wanted to pause. He said he didn't drug him, but he gave him a lot to drink. That's not true. Now, this is what Markel said. This is what he's hearing allegedly from JuankiPro, that he had got a lot to drink. Let's continue to play, and I'll respond. Right? And that when he went to the bathroom, that he went through his phone and changed all his favorite contact numbers. So he had his mom, his grandmother, and me, and some other people. He changed their phone numbers in there so he couldn't reach me. He couldn't reach nobody in there. While I was trying to set him up in that damn house. So he got fucking free.
Oh. So Wiley, so you saying Wiley out
So
here?
you hear that, and this is where, that's what Markel said. And he said, oh, he did not drug him. Then you get a member, Melly B, gonna say, oh, he drugged and raped. He drugged. No, he said drugged JuankiPro. That did not happen. And see, now that I know what kind of business this is, that this is like litigations, because I have deals on the table and that people are looking at me side-eye, and I have to take legal actions. And so it's very unfortunate because I don't like to take legal action, but unfortunately I will have to, because that's a bald-faced lie. And you all going to hear this Blog Talk Radio interview with me and JuankiPro. You will hear different timestamps of him talking about the liquor, of describing the liquor that he brought to the interview. He brought liquor and he was drinking. The only thing that I apologize for is for allowing this person to come over and do all of that drink. I should have cut it off, because when after the interview, he was drinking and drinking. All that liquor was just, it summered in. He started to get belligerent. He started to call his boyfriend, cussed out his boyfriend. He was cussing out people on the phone. Then he said he want to go. He got to see Markel. And already the interview went so overboard because we were talking. And then after the interview, it was late in the night, like 11, 12 o'clock, because the interview was supposed to be over around like 10 so he can go see Markel. I drank like a cup. I didn't drink a lot because I'm not a heavy drinker. My roommate that I had at the time was in the living room with his air mattress. He was in the living room and we're doing the interview. It was time to go. And I said, okay, let me give you an Uber. He said, I'm about to go. Where we at? And I'm about to go. So I follow him outside because I'm just not going to up and leave. I'm not going to up and let him leave the house without me following him to make sure he get home safely, because he don't know this area. So we get his phone. We have his phone. We contact Markel. And we told Markel what was going on, that he's acting, he's drunk, keep an eye on him. I'm going to get him an Uber. So we got the Uber. We contacted the Uber driver. I was telling him how to get to my apartment complex because my apartment complex is huge, humongous. So the Uber driver finally came, and I said, make sure you get in the car. And I told the Uber driver to make sure he get to his hotel room safely. So he went on and got to his hotel room. And I never spoke to JuankiPro since that day. JuankiPro, ever since that day, we never talked again. Now, I told your boy Nunu what happened during that day after it happened. I called him. I said, oh my God, he was right. And I do remember sending your boy Nunu some videos. I do remember sending him some videos of us outside. I don't know if your boy Nunu still have those videos, but I'm going to ask him, do he have that? Because I do remember that. Sending him some videos because we were outside. I was recording. You could actually hear JuankiPro like talking, blah, blah, blah. And so I definitely remember doing that. What I'm going to play now is the interview of me and JuankiPro. Now, mind you, this is a 2-year plus old interview. This is when he came over to the house. And I want to play that. And then also Ahmad Wiggins' name, a disclaimer, is going to be mentioned in this interview. Because again, this man, JuankiPro, was the one that was doing assessment or review of the interview that Ahmad Wiggins did when he interviewed my family. This one particular blogger was there and seen the video live, and he reviewed it. Unfortunately, JuankiPro, I don't know if he privated his videos or he took his videos down. But I asked him to come on out publicly and to give his side of the story of what happened that night. Because I know no rape happened, no drug happened. It was a lot of drinking on his part. He drank a lot. And the reason why I did not take him home, because I have already had a cup to drink. So I'm not going to drink and drive and take you back to the hotel room, because I've been taught don't drink and drive. So that was the only reason why he took an Uber, because he wanted to go see Markel. I did tell Markel that he's coming, that he's drunk, and X, Y, and Z. Okay. Now, me and JuankiPro, we never had a conversation. A lot of people think that he had a conversation with Markel about me. I can believe that because he did meet up with Markel. And I remember Markel called me and said JuankiPro made it safely to the hotel. I do remember that. After that, I never had any type of dealings with JuankiPro. Recently, I reached out to JuankiPro because I just reached out to him to see how he was doing, to see if we could resolve or what happened. Yes, 2 years ago, just randomly. I randomly hit him up like a day or 2 days ago because he was live. And I said, let me hit him up and try to see what went wrong, because I still remember what happened last year when Markel put that out there on that interview, because I don't forget. So, because I haven't seen JuankiPro in a while on the internet. So I just saw him on my YouTube recently on YouTube, because I'm still subscribed to the channel. So I reached out to him. I didn't get no response. And the only reason why I have to consult with my lawyer on Monday is because these people are saying it and they're on these big, massive brands. I mean, you're on these YouTube shows and you're saying this stuff that can pretty much destroy opportunities for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point I did not want to get no lawyer involved in anything, but I have to, because if I lose an opportunity off a lie, I have to make sure that I'm protected and that you have to compensate me for your lies and your defamation of character that you are doing on these interviews and knowing that it'd be stuck. And Markel put out there that I did something to my grandmother. Now he's reading off of a Lipstick Alley. Lipstick Alley is not a blog, a credible news source. It's like a bunch of just fake stuff. They put out lies, they put out gifts. It's not a rep, it's not the ABC News, it's not Dallas Morning News, it's not the Chicago Sun-Times, it's not the Tribute. They literally have a thread and talking about me and my grandmother based off an interview with Ahmad Wiggins. Okay, and that's why I can't wait to have a conversation with Ahmad Wiggins about that, a public conversation, so we can resolve this. And Ahmad Wiggins posts a comment. Give me a second. And I'm going to show it to you all on screen. Let me put it on here. He pretty much posts a comment, and I'm going to make sure I post it so you all can see what I'm talking about. Okay. And this will answer your question, Ahmad Wiggins. Why do I bring your name up? Because this instance with that stink of that lie was based off your channel. And he was so drunk, don't mind you, Ahmad Wiggins, when he did that interview with me, and he interviewed my family, he wasn't a sober Ahmad Wiggins. He was intoxicated. He was drinking. He was lit. And he wasn't really focused on the interview. He was laughing when I was crying. And it was just a hot mess. But this is what Ahmad Wiggins posted on my YouTube. Okay? Give me a second. I'm going to show you all that. And then I'm going to go into the interview of me and JuankiPro. Of the interview that we had. Let me bring that up. Okay, this is it right here. I want you all to read this so y'all can see this. Okay, is this it right here? Here we go. He said, I'm not sure why I'm always mentioned doing your live streams. I don't have a problem with you. Whenever you're live, I'll call and I'll let you know what it is. I do have a problem with Ahmad Wiggins because the problem that I have is based off that interview, and I just want those to make it clear that my family never accused me of rape. My mother never did that. They have denied that all day long. And so it was based off the show. So I was butthurt and hurt that my friend interviewed because I did not want him to interview my mother and my sister. So that's why our beef tends to. Our beef goes back a couple of years back, about three years back. So let me play this interview. I'm going to play this interview. And I thank everybody for being understanding, for being in my inbox. And you know, guys, I get it. What I have to do now as a growing entity, that you definitely have to have a lawyer on speed dial. And I do have that. And that you definitely have to get some type of legal advice on what you can do. You know what I'm saying? To kind of shut this stuff down of these scandalous lies that a person can just come up with and try to tarnish your brand. All right. So let me screen share the interview so you all can see that. Good morning to each and every one of you. So let me clarify the JuankiPro thing again. There was no rape. There was no drugging. JuankiPro had a lot to drink. He was making a lot of phone calls, doing a lot of things to his phone. He was lit. He was going off. He was doing a whole bunch of talking. And it was time to pretty much go because we in the wee hours of the night. And he couldn't spend a night because I just didn't feel comfortable having him spend a night. Plus, I have a roommate. And then I just didn't feel comfortable, right? So my roommate at the time was staying in my living room on the air mattress. So is in this type of situation, I get it why a lot of people of them two, or why JuankiPro never brought up, because he know that never happened. That's why he never came out and put that stuff out. That these come from these other friends of quote unquote JuankiPro that they're not friends with him anymore. They're upset and mad because I did an interview or review bad about Chase in Dallas. That's why Markel was butthurt. And that's why my dear brother Melly B is upset because he was upset about the review that I gave. Now, I did have the pleasure of meeting Markel before I play this interview, you guys. I did have the pleasure of meeting him at the award show, and we talked, okay? And I'm going to play that interview too, but let me first play this Blog Talk Radio one. Here we go.
My point is, it's publicity. People, Hollywood is all about making who makes the most noise. That's why Kai and T.S. Madison is so powerful, because y'all girls are talking about her. Girls and boys, straight, gays, a white man, black man, Asian man, Chinese man, Latino man, Puerto Rican man, Dominican man are talking about the Queen's Court. A YouTube show / Facebook show that they shoot it in the basement. Or they shot it in the basement, excuse my language. Reaching 20, 100, 400, 500,000 people. But we have in the studio, JuankiPro, the young man that made a video when I was going through my scandal with Armon Wiggins.
That video.
And you was the only one that reported with facts regarding the situation. You reported it with the 2-week notice. You reported it that you seen some of the live feed, and you also was attacking Ahmad Wiggins in the sense of this supposed to be your friend. Why would you do this?
Well, that's the main point. That's the main point. Get to the microphone.
Yeah, you shouldn't be attacking me. But let me tell you something about Miss Ahmad Wiggins. You are not my friend.
He was not your friend.
He was never my. Let me tell y'all something. Ahmad Wiggins was a business partner. Ahmad Wiggins was business only. Let me show you something, JuankiPro. You exclusively gonna look at some DMs from me.
And let you pause it. Let me pause it for a second. During this time, this was before Tasha K came into the picture. This was before all of that. This was before I met VS from TSCC. This was before I was in the so-called, quote unquote, a beef sector. This was in the beginning year of 2018. Okay. This was in the beginning year of that. All right. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was the year of the library. If I'm not mistaken, if somebody can quote me on that year. Let me see. Hold on one second. I want to make sure I get my dates right with that year. Hold on. Give me a second. I want to make sure, because I believe that was the year of the library. That happened in the library was like April. This was in the beginning year of 2018. All right. So here we go. Let's play. Now he's going to talk about the whole Ahmad Wiggins thing. We're going to play that all the way through so y'all can hear that. And we're going to go ahead and do some commentary on it. All right. Here we go.
Because I don't run for nobody. I ain't scared of you hoes. So Ahmad Wiggins hit me up. He hit me up in my DM. And he said read that to the audience. Read
Which
that.
one? Oh,
read it, the first one.
January 11, 2018. Oh, this is recent.
2:41
p.m. New year, new leaf. Don't fuck it up. We all good. Oh, I have something else going.
Yeah.
More threats.
No, it wasn't threats.
I don't want to hold the threat in my hand.
But let me tell you something.
Okay.
The reason why he said that, let's go back, January 11th. When did Chase Atlanta release their video? Now let me go back to the facts. Remember that.
Oh, I'm already making the connection, Wiley. And
the connection was what? That the interview went viral.
Right.
And that the Wiley Show was featured in a storyline.
Right. Is that the guy with the dreads?
Yes.
He cut them off?
Yes. So we on the Queen's Court. Now they released their season.
No, we are on the Chasing Atlanta.
No, not the Queen's Court. Chasing Atlanta.
Yeah. So we talking about Chasing Atlanta. For everybody that's joining in, we're playing this interview with me and JuankiPro. Okay. An allegation. Melly B came out and he said that I drugged JuankiPro. Okay, that's what he said. I drugged him, and I was on Sean Bradley's show via Patreon, and we had a conversation over there, me and Melly B, and of course that he put that out there. Then Melly B said, listen, I'm gonna get JuankiPro to come on. JuankiPro have not came on. JuankiPro have not released a statement. JuankiPro have not released a text message at all. From this interview was 2 years ago. JuankiPro was in my house one and only time, was doing that interview that we did, me and JuankiPro. Unfortunately, JuankiPro got extremely drunk, and he was like calling his ex-boyfriend, calling different people in his phone, going off. And then eventually we walked him outside to get an Uber and he went home. Okay. So now with Chasing Atlanta, now you're going to hear something in this interview with me and JuankiPro and with Ahmad Wiggins, because it's funny how Ahmad Wiggins will send this message, right? He said, I'm not sure why I'm always mentioned doing your live streams. I don't have a problem with you. Whenever you're live, I'll call and I'll let you know what it is. So you're going to pretty much hear in the interview why I've been very consistent of our issues and our problems with the Ahmad Wiggins show. You're going to hear it. And JuankiPro was there, a co-host with me in this one particular episode, and we were talking about it. So the people that are lost, you all are hearing this. So just to let you all know that JuankiPro, I never drugged him or anything of that nature. I treated him with the ultimate respect, and JuankiPro definitely had brought the liquor. I didn't purchase any liquor. He brought the liquor because he wanted to have a good time. And if any old fans of JuankiPro, you could actually see, but he deleted them videos where he would drink a lot on camera. He loved to drink on camera. We talk a little bit about that in this clip. So let me continue to play it. I hope everybody is caught up on it. So let me press play.
We on Chasing Atlanta now. So Atlanta got a lot of fucking shows. But this is the point that I'm trying to make. Chasing Atlanta season 2 post their promo video for season 2 of Chasing Atlanta. They put who in the thing? They put the Wiley Show.
Right.
They put the Wiley Show in it. Once the Wiley Show was featured in not Jaylon's, but in Sky and Just Nico situation, I became infamous on the show. Because with the green folder.
Ah, shit, here comes the green folder.
It's not about what's in the green folder. It's how I delivered the news.
Oh, that's oh shit. Oh shit.
I delivered the news.
I'm getting exclusives out here.
How I delivered the news.
This is
it's about the green folders in my brain. Woo. Okay.
Yo, I saw the green folder, y'all.
So with the whole point about him and the Chasing Atlanta, I'm talking about Ahmad Wiggins. Ahmad wanted to reach out to Wiley. And then say, oh, let's be friends. Let's be friends. No, you fake bitch. You want to be my friend because I did not die.
But you know what? It's not like you did something wrong to him.
Right.
Like, it's not on him to say, okay, let's new leave. All is good with us.
Right.
Like, you didn't he did the absolute worst to you.
And he interviewed my mother.
Yes.
So
and I heard that interview.
He interviewed my mother. He interviewed my sister. So if you interview my mother and my blood, these are my blood mama that got me out of her pussy and my sister. That's who he interviewed.
At a very vulnerable moment.
At a very vulnerable moment because he wanted likes and views.
And I also felt that interview was kind of guided a certain way. So they had never been like in that type of setting. So you can
tell that it wasn't guided like that. My mother was getting on that drunk, smelling cigarettes in her voice. I can talk about it because it's my mama. You can do anything about your parents. If your parents allow it, you can do it. My mom cussed at us and we cussed at our mom. We have that relationship. So what if you don't have that with yours? But Ahmad wanted to capitalize on that, and he was that dumb, stupid human being wanted to say he raped his grandmother. Hashtag rape grandmother. He put it out there. Put out a serious allegation that I raped my grandmother. I didn't rape my grandmother. Do you know how stupid that sounds? Do you know I would be under the jail that my family hate me? I'd have been under the jail. Do you think I'll be free now?
And you know what? I'm gonna say this as somebody who only knew you through that and seeing, because that's how I came across that whole situation. Starting to give you the side eye.
Yes, you were fine. But let me tell you something. How can you give a person a side eye when you say?
Yeah, so I'm glad he said that, because if people don't be knowing, they'll give a side eye, because it's not the first time that a person would use that as a clapback, unfortunately. And Ahmad Wiggins, and I'm gonna say this to the day I die, he called me and he put it on his Instagram page, and he said, Wiley, I gotta juice up the interview. I'm gonna put on that, did Wiley rape his grandmother? Hashtag did he rape his grandmother? And he did the interview. He did not laser in focus and cleared it up when my mother said Marquise did not rape his grandmother. That got blown out of proportion because he's cussing. He's so upset because Jess Kelly wanted the exclusive to interview my mother and sister. And my mother said it did not happen. My mother actually came back on my show last year to clear it up. And unfortunately, so now in this case that I know that I have to do this day forward, I have to make sure that I just take it legally. You know what I'm saying? In this regard, I'm playing this interview clip, and I know in the future, or even if it happened again, I know how to handle it. You can't really respond to it on the YouTube front. That's something that you respond in a legal front, because responding on the YouTube front is kind of counterproductive. The best way to do it is to make sure you respond to it on the legal front. I have done that once for one particular blogger, and now it looks like I'm have to constantly over and over and do it. And I don't mind doing it. It's just that it is time consuming, because you got to post the receipts, send the documentation, pay the money to get it through. But nevertheless, we're going to make it through. So I'm going to continue to play this interview and let you all hear it. And again, all of this have been exposed because of an interview. All of these lies, all because I was talking about that man's horse. All because, and I asked him in an interview, I said, you doing all this because of a bad review? And the messages that Melly B was sending me on Instagram that I'm going to expose you, I'm going to do this. Now, my mother and sister did the interview because during that time, I was saying some very, very hurtful things about them. Cussing, ranting. At that time, now I know that I was extremely mentally ill, extremely manic. I didn't know it then. I know it now. So we were having so much negativity during that era. That was the era when the order of protection was given. That was the era where I just left Chicago and I moved to Dallas. It was so nasty and heated. Half of the story haven't been told because half of it was on my Facebook page. But things were said on Facebook, and it was so messed up and scandalous of the beef that a family breakup, and it was happening publicly. So Ahmad Wiggins called me and he asked me, I actually asked him, I said, interview me, clear my name. I'm just talking out my neck. Wasn't talking to my best voice. And at that time it was real crazy, So that's why he interviewed me. He interviewed my family because they came into the chat. They wanted to respond. I told them, don't interview them. Don't interview them. He did it anyhow. And that's what it's all based upon. He did it. And he took the interview down and he gave it to, before he took the interview down, he gave it to another blogger. Then he took the video down. So that's what our problem. I think I'm going to always talk about him until we actually have a conversation. And to his credit, and I'm not trying to make this an anti-Ahmad Wiggins show. To his credit, he did text me. So I hope and pray that we do have this conversation. We had a text. He reached out to us for an overdue conversation, and I'm here for it. I want it to be an open and honest conversation, not me over talking him, and I don't want him to over talk me. I want it to be a healing conversation. I want it to be a come to an understanding conversation, and try to just see each other's point of view. That's what I want. So he did reach out to me via text, and he haven't texted me in over a year. So he did text me last, what time did he text me? he texted me. It was 11:07 yesterday. So he did text me at 11:07 yesterday. And that text read, I'm not sure why I'm always mentioned during your live streams. I don't have a problem with you. Whenever you're live, I'll call and let you know what it is. And then he put this. Can we have an overdue conversation and move on? Let me know when you plan on going live because we are in a different time zone. And I said, okay, I'm down with that. And then of course, I'm gonna put a time on here so he'll know what time will be best for him. He could just let me know. So I did send it for that. So I would love to have a conversation. So let me continue to play this interview, and I'll be right back for some commentary. We can open up the phone lines if anybody want to call in.
Great. Don't you think that person going to jail? Let's use common sense.
Right.
Right. 2 + 2 = 4. How can I work in nursing care facilities and I've been accused of raping my grandmother?
Right.
So that was a lie. And my mother said in the interview, that's a lie. He didn't do that. What are you talking about? But that didn't get leaked out because everybody was so concerned about her saying about my mental capacity. If I'm mentally ill, I get it from your mama. If I'm a hoe, I get it from my mama. I do tell my mom I'm a hoe because you was a hoe. I'm crazy because you was crazy. You are what your mother is. Point blank clear. You got some of your mother ways.
I do.
And your father ways, regardless.
I definitely do.
Whoever, all this liquor.
Okay, now we're going to get into the liquor. Listen, with the JuankiPro, let me go back a little bit because we're going to get into the liquor part of the interview. Okay, because he's talking about drug and all that. You know, that did not happen, ladies and gentlemen, because you all wasn't there. I'm only telling my side of the story, and my side is the truth because I remember that day. Let me press play.
You got some of your mother ways.
I do.
And your father ways, regardless.
I definitely do.
Whoever, all this liquor came from somebody in your parents. All that liquor either came from your mama or from your daddy bloodline.
This came from college. This is my college.
But it came from somewhere. But no, I'm talking about in your bloodline, in your hitch, in your lineage.
Do I got alcoholics? Is that what you're trying to say,
yeah,
Wiley?
you got some alcoholics. Every family got alcoholics.
Let's talk about alcoholism.
Yeah, everybody got alcoholics in their family. But back to Miss Ahmad Wiggins.
You know, he came back.
But he only comes back. Let me tell you, he only comes back when it's something serious. Because he told me, he was like, Wiley, let me get on. I'm not even gonna go on Instagram. I'm gonna go on Instagram because I'm very okay. I go on Instagram now. He was like, Wiley, I don't like the Queen's Court. I said, why? Because they read people, bitch. You read people too, bitch. Are you mad that because they get more? Right, they get more likes and views. Are you that upset that they get more likes and views than you, Ahmad Wiggins? How can you be upset with the Queen's Court when your show been doing the same shit for years? You upset, Ahmad Wiggins, it's because, let me say the HD, because you ain't getting 300, 400, 500,000 viewers. If you confident, see, the reason why the Wiley Show is still relevant is because I'm confident with 10 viewers. Because to me, 7 viewers is 7 million viewers because it's still on YouTube forever.
Now, listen, I was drinking too. I'm not going to sit here and say that I was sober. I was drinking too, but I was not drunk. I was drinking too because he had some strong liquor. That man, it was a lot of bottles that he brought to the house. Once we ended the interview and had a conversation, we were talking to my roommate, just had a little conversation. All of them liquor bottles were gone. It was all drank up, and that was him. He was putting it back, just drinking. I drank a cup because he was bringing that for me, bringing something for the house and everything like that. He drank it all. We didn't have no liquor left. I had 1 cup, 1 glass, and it don't take much for me to get drunk because I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a drinker, so I could drink a couple of sips or 3 or 4 sips and get real tipsy, especially if it's strong liquor. I don't remember what kind of liquor it was, but it literally had me slurring on my word because that was some strong, powerful stuff that he brought. He brought some strong liquor. So I'm not gonna put it out there like he was the only one drinking. No, I was drinking too. It's just when he got through, he was drunk. If he wasn't tipsy, he was drunk. But I made sure that he got in his Uber to get back to his hotel. He was not drugged. He was drunk. And he bought the liquor. He purchased the liquor. He was drinking on his own accord.
That interview you did is forever. I could put in JuankiPro right now, and you can put Wiley in there, and I come up.
It's gonna come up, yeah. It's up there.
And that's how you do
Malcolm, I see you. Malcolm, I see you.
And that's how you do it. Because you the one that brought it up about the Wiley Show. And I'm looking for, letting this be known, a job alert. Anybody out there that want to be an audio engineer for the Wiley Show, hit me up. I'm hiring because I need clips to be playing, and I'm still hiring for a co-host. So we're gonna get into your boy Nunu. We're gonna get into Damian Crawford. We're gonna get into
Those are not my boys. Melly B's cool. Melly B the real deal. We're gonna play some Melly B track. That's right.
We're gonna play all of that. Because with my show, this is the Melly B takeover. Okay? And we're gonna do it. And I commend everybody that's tuning into the Wiley Show. Thank you, JuankiPro, for coming all the way from New York to Dallas, Texas, and brought some liquor. And I want to tell you, call in 646-716-8447. I don't beg and plead nobody to call in. Because at the end of the day, people are going to listen to the show, and I say certain names for people to talk about. Ahmad Wiggins is messy. He's only about himself. 646-716-8447. I don't beg and plead nobody to call in. Because at the end of the day, people are going to listen to the show, and I say certain names for people to talk about. Ahmad Wiggins is messy. He's only about himself. And then he say this: I'm friends with T.S. Madison. That's my friend. No, bitch, that's not your friend. If you somebody's friend, why you never been on T.S. Madison's show?
Listen, I could tell the type of friend that he was based on your interview that he did. I mean,
yes.
You could see his facial expressions in the whole thing. He was laughing when you was crying.
Yeah,
what kind of friend is that?
A friend that's all about getting likes and views. That's all what that's about. He ain't never was my friend. Bitches need to know Wiley is smart. I'm a smart motherfucker. I know who to have in my life to benefit me. Same way with you. You in business. Certain people I talk about thoroughly. Your boy knew I talk about thoroughly. We're going to get into that. But back to Ahmad Wiggins. And again, I want y'all to understand the reason why me and Ahmad Wiggins fell out is because he interviewed my mama. He interviewed my sister. And it will be in the documentary. And I'm going to let the world know how Ahmad Wiggins tried his best to capitalize off of my family issues because he saw how instantly I went.
So there you clearly hear that. And of course, that episode is on the podcast. So I'm going to put the link. So if anybody want to hear that interview in its entirety, you are more than welcome to go back and hear it. And of course, we will probably play the rest of it when I get back from work for those that missed the first part of it. Okay. But again, me and JuankiPro came over. He brought his liquor over to drink. He's from New York City, came to Dallas, Texas. I picked him up from the hotel room. We came to my apartment that I had at the time with a roommate. And after the interview, literally he was lit, drunk, and he was calling his ex-boyfriend, cussed his ex-boyfriend out, and he was just talking on the phone with just random stuff. And that's what happened. Then once that ended, we said, okay, time to go. So we go outside. He wanted to catch a cab. He was on the phone. He said, call Markel. Where's Markel? Markel wasn't really answered. Then eventually Markel did answer. And then I told him to make sure, and I made sure he got in the Uber to get home. I do have history with Ahmad Wiggins. Me and Ahmad Wiggins go back all the way back to 2015, 2016. That's how far we go back. I think 15 or 16, we go back that far. With the Ahmad Wiggins show. I've actually got an interview with Ahmad Wiggins. Let me see. Do I still have that interview? Let me do something really quickly. Do I still have that interview? So yeah, we do have history. So all the new people that did not know that we actually do have history. So if anybody don't know that, we do. Okay, what was this? No, that was the interview. Where was the interview? Let me see. is that at? Oh, is this it? Exclusive interview with Ahmad Wiggins. Okay, here we go. This again. This was actually 3 years ago. Let me make sure that we don't get that. Let me get. Okay.
So when we got into production of the show, things just wasn't starting. They just didn't start. They just started not to feel right. Me trying to. Let me first give you a round of applause for coming on the show. Yes. Okay. Shout out to the round of applause. Okay. We had to give you a long one. Usually some girls just get a little snippet. I'm here for it. So let's just get started because I've been, I watched the show My Shady Rainbow. Everybody was tuning in. At first, you told me about it. I made a review about it. Everybody wanted to know, why did you leave the show? What's the tea? I can start off with the rumors. I've heard that.
Now, this interview, when I interviewed Ahmad Wiggins, this was about 3 years ago. This is when he was on the show My Shady Rainbow, produced by Jacob Kahainu. You all know her as now Jessica, the Gossip Girl. But before she was Jessica, it was Jacob Kahainu, and Ahmad Wiggins was actually one of the cast members on the show, and they pretty much put Ahmad Wiggins in a bad light. So I'm going to play a little snippet of that. And one thing I love about Blog Talk Radio, it got my archive. You know what I'm saying? It got my archive where I could pull up an old interview in the crates. Versus I got a better archive on Blog Talk than I do on YouTube. Okay. Wiley, tell them you ain't new to this. You are true to this. I've been doing this for a long time before it was a beef sector. I've been doing this for a long time. The only difference now is that I have an audience. I have almost 10,000 subscribers. That might not mean much to you. That means a whole lot to me. I don't want to tear up, but that might not mean much to a lot of big YouTubers, but I'm blessed and I thank God for that. Because I remember when I interviewed Ahmad Wiggins 3 years ago on this Blog Talk Radio show, I didn't get that traction. I would have hoped and prayed to get 100 listeners. Baby, that show probably got 5 or 10 listeners. Probably with his audience, probably got like 20, 30, 40. I gotta check the listeners on there, but it was really, really low. It would be great to get 100 listeners on the show. Oh, baby, I'm doing something to get 100 listeners on the show, and I thank God that I have a platform now. So let me play a little clip of that, and I thank God for that, and I thank God for you all. And it's a fight that I'm going to be going through on this journey because God is elevating me. So anytime you get ready for elevation, the haters are going to come with so much hate, but you got to be prepared for the elevation. You also got to be prepared for your haters. So let's play a little bit of this interview. And this was an old interview about 3 some odd years ago.
They didn't see it for you. A lot of folks said you didn't fit the show. You wasn't with the it girls. There was a lot of classy girls that had money and corporate. They said you didn't have a corporate job. It was so many rumors that was just coming through my inbox about you leaving there. So let the girls know what happened. Why did you join the show, and why did you just leave? Okay, so yeah, the show was very, very interesting. But so this is what happened. Jacob and I had been friends, for a little while in Atlanta, and he had came to me the idea with this show. Now, when he came to me with the idea of the show, I didn't necessarily know what the show was about, but I was thinking it was going to be about more so, me trying to be, this video blogger personality in Atlanta. And, it's just going to be a bunch of us trying to be social media personalities and things of that. So then when he brought the show to me, like, okay, it's going to be My Shady Rainbow. And then he tells us it's going to be like this mobile business, like this beauty business. I was already kind of like, okay, well, this is not really my expertise. Like, I've done this before in the past, but like the whole fashion thing really wasn't my thing. But
with him being my friend and, us working together, me saying I would do it, I thought it'd be great. I could meet other people. Now, it started out as it was already becoming shady. I thought it was going to be fun. It was fun in the beginning, but then I was just like, well, I'm not really sure because I had already had slight reservations about Jacob prior, just because the way that he does certain things and how he handles his social media site and how he does things when it comes to other personalities or people that don't have as big as following as him and things of that. So I was already a little leery, but I was like, you know what? He's going to be my mentor. I was with him a lot, so he's going to have my best interest. And, we're going to work well together. So when we got into production of the show, things just wasn't starting. They just didn't start. They just started not to feel right. You know what I mean? So it started to feel like, okay, first let me say this. The show, a lot of people want to know, was it scripted? Was it not? It was half and half. Honestly, I could say like some of it was, but a lot of it wasn't. You know what I mean? For the most part, the only thing that I could say was scripted was the part that I didn't know. That the show was about to wear me out. That was the show should have been called Armon. Bitch, hashtag recording live, I can't take her. That should have been the name of the show because, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I was like, okay, well, when we would do production, we would never see like the certain scenes. We would never know what was going on. But then I had started getting rumors like, oh, bitch, if we set this certain scene, it was a scene where if it was going to be an apartment and if it was going to be a raggedy apartment, they were going to make it my house. Shade
wow.
like that. Or yeah, so it started to become rumors like that on the back end, like, oh girl, like, Jacob wanted me to be like this. He was selling it to me like, you're going to be the star. You're going to be the star. It's going to be about you. I want you to be this Nene Leakes character. I was like, well, that's not really my get down either. I'm not here to tear anybody down to give all that. But if anybody try it, I'm about that life. You know what I mean? This mouth can get very, very fierce. But that wasn't my whole MO. I just wanted to be the cool, chill guy. You know what I'm saying? And not about so much of the turn up. But as the show started going on, I started to find out, well, the show is going to take a twist. Everybody's going to turn on you, or then everybody is going to, it's going to be about getting you out. Gavin is going to want to get you out. So I'm like, damn. So I had called Jacob on the phone, and he put this in the show, and I started feeling leery about it. I said, Jacob, I'm really feeling a kind of way. He said, what do you mean? I said, honestly, Jacob, I'm going to be real with you. I said, I don't feel like you have my best interest in this show. So I don't. He said, so what do you mean? You don't want to do the show? I said, honestly, no, because I said, Jacob, you like to make everybody else look bad, or you'll make everybody else look ratchet or crazy, or, just a complete ass of themselves while you come and save the day, or you come look like the peacemaker, or you come look like you're the guy for the community. And I personally, don't want to be the ass of this joke. You get what I'm saying? And so when we had the conversation, he was like, so do you still want to do it? I said, Jacob, I'll do it if you're going to make me, I don't want my character, I don't want to be shaded in this show. So after that conversation, I was blocked. He didn't talk to me. We didn't say anything. And then a few weeks later, he hit me up and I was like, hey, what's going on? And I had started a new job, whatever. I was like, yeah, we should go to the mall, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because, I had stopped doing the show. And then he was like, okay, great. I thought we was cool. Hadn't talked to Jacob. Stopped talking to me. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So things happen. I guess they still end up doing the show or whatever. But I end up leaving the show because I didn't trust Jacob and I did not trust where the show was going. And I did not trust what it was going to try to make recording live look like. And I told him that. I said, if we were just using characters, like my name could have been Ben, I don't give a damn, and we wasn't using Armon and recording live, then I would have been all for whatever the shit show would have been, because I would have been a character. But you're using my brand, and at the same time, I'm trying to build my brand. So at the same time, I felt in a sense that you were trying to tear my brand down before it even got started. And then once the show aired, I hadn't really watched the show. Jacob hit me back up. So then we talked about it. We kumbaya'd, because a lot of people was like, well, what's been going on with you and Jacob? And I was paying it. I never said anything bad about him. You know what I mean? I was over him though. I never said anything, but they were like, well, what's going on?
And this was before the transition. This is when it was Jake and Kino, not when it was Jessica. So just put everybody, this is an old interview 3 years ago. Interview. I'm gonna play a little bit of that. And we also will have the phone lines open up. So if anybody want to call in with a question or comment, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm gonna play a couple of more minutes of this, and then we could bring the show to a close.
On between you and Jacob, and I paid it. So then Jacob hit me up like, hey love, like the show's coming out, would you mind sharing this on your page? We had a whole kumbaya session. He was like, well, girl, I gotta let you know, I did put it in there that you left the show, blah blah blah. I was like, yeah, that's cool, I did leave the show, it is what it is, we good. So Gavin is calling me almost every episode, every week. And I'm like, what is Gavin calling? He's like, I just want to make sure we're in a good place because we're about to start getting into it. I'm like, well, bitch, I don't even know. Like, I'm not even watching the show. I'm like, girl, yeah, it's just entertainment. It's fine. It's whatever. So then I watched one episode of the show. Then I watched another episode of the show. Then I realized I was the show. I was that show. And what frustrated me the most about that whole thing, any bitch can say whatever they want to say about me. I'm not mad at Gavin. I'm not even mad at Pikachu. I'm not mad at Bella. I'm not mad at anybody else in there. Although, had I been there for that round table reading session, I would have let Gavin have it. I would have wore Jamal thin. And bitch, if Bella wouldn't have fell in formation, she would have got it. And Caesar would have learned English. But my issue was with Jacob Kohiner. Because what I feel like he did, he put a bunch of us in this group where all of us honestly weren't really even qualified for this. I mean, Caesar, he designs. Bella, she does hair and makeup. So I could see why you would put them in there. But Pikachu, Jamal, he works for some no-name brand airline. And Gavin, I don't even know what he does. And I'm a media personality. So my whole thing is, I think what he did was he literally got these corporate girls and these girls with these good jobs and things like that. And shout out to them. Shout out to anybody that makes their coin. I'm here for it. But what I didn't like was he tried to make me look cheap, or he tried to cheapen my brand. And I'm like, where would that come from? Why would you try to, because I didn't think that this was about who worked where, who did corporate. This is about what kind of background do these people have? What kind of influence do these people have on the masses that are going to bring in traffic or going to bring in trust? Because if you really want to get into credibility, the only people with a following is Jacob and I. But I feel like every time they would talk, it was in a roundtable discussion, it was almost about, well, what do you do? And it would be Jamal saying that he works for some airline, or, or Gavin was like the bougie one. And I'm like, girl, it's not even about that. Jacob, you knew I worked as a server. Everybody knew I worked at Joe's on Juniper. It was no secret. Everybody knew I was on the bus. Everybody knew I had a piece of a car. I'm going to keep it all the way 100. So for you to get on there and try to set me up like, oh, recording live, he's just this girl that thinks she's hot, but she just has this iPhone and goes around recording videos. So when I brought up that contract, when I told him I wasn't signing that bunk ass contract and I need to get with my people, he says to me, well, what people? So I already knew that he was trying it then. And if we really want to get into shade, ask why we didn't record at Jacob's house. Ask why you never seen Jacob's car. It's that part. Because I've seen it all, honey. And me and her was in the same boat, if you really want to get technical. But that's neither here nor there. My issue was, don't try to bring me on this show and try to make an ass of me, try to diminish my brand before it even gets started. If anything, you should have been a friend and a mentor to try to uplift and build my brand. But instead, you try to bring all these other people around and make it as though these girls had their lives together. These girls are so professional. And I was just this girl with this iPhone that did recording live, that with this fierce mouth that didn't really have any clout behind them. All I had is a few followers. And so that was my issue. And that's why I don't feel Jacob Kohiner, because I feel like he tried to embarrass me on his YouTube channel. And I was late. That was very, 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 very.
All right. So y'all heard that. And so we go all the way back. in that particular instance. And this was before the transition with Jessica, the Gossip Girl. This is when it was Jacob Kahino. Shout out to Jessica. And because what she created before her transition was awesome, and she put a lot of people on and helped a lot of people, and some people didn't like it, some people did. A lot of red carpets and stuff. So I played that to let you all know that I've been doing this for a long time. And so while doing this, you all will hear that that this has been going on for a while with the Wiley Show. Okay, we have been doing content for a while. So when I would bring up the Ahmad Wiggins show, I have to make it known to the new people that do not know that we did have a lengthy history. We never met in person. It was just an online friendship. I helped him out a lot. He helped me out a lot. When we did reconcile our friendship back in 2018, when me and JuankiPro were doing our interview, we reconciled, and then we fell back out because I feel like it wasn't genuine. I felt like we reconciled the friendship because of me going, pretty much was part of Chasing Atlanta, I think season 2. Back when Chasing Atlanta was out, I was a part of Jess Nico from Little Women's of Atlanta and Sky. I was a part of their storyline because I had the pleasure of interviewing Jess Nico and Sky from Chasing Atlanta. So it pretty much went viral because they were getting a lot of views, and so my show was on there. And so I had got an inbox from the Ahmad Wiggins show talking about, girl, let's turn over a new leaf, don't F it up, and everything like that. And so that's when we start back talking. And then later on that year, that's when Tasha K, I believe, got involved, and the whole Star Marie, Cardi B stuff, and pretty much our friendship pretty much started to end at that moment. But we never really had a conversation again after that. We talked other avenues, but in this moment in our lives, because I think we're mature now, older now, but we never had that moment. The last time we talked on his channel, he wasn't there. He really didn't let me speak to let me hear my side of the story. And I wasn't really there. I really didn't get a chance to hear his side. It was just like a cutoff. So I'm kind of glad that he did reach out to me for a conversation. I think that would be great and awesome for us to sit and talk. Okay. So any questions, if you all want to ask, the floor is open for about 10 or 15 more minutes. If anybody got a question or comment, you are more than welcome to call in and press 1, or you can post your comment in the chat box and we can have a conversation. If you're more than welcome to do that. It's grown man somewhere in bed actually enjoying their rest, not thinking about YouTube, but keep being mentioned. Ciao. Well, this is for people that are up. 124 million people are up, and those are up, and those are going to watch this video again. We thank you all so very much for this. So if anybody want to have a comment or a statement, you are more than welcome to call in to give your statement. Again, with the JuankiPro situation, I would love to have a conversation with him and to talk with him and like, where did I go wrong in that instance? I would love to have a conversation, but if we don't, I had to just clearly clear my name in this instance because that was a strong allegation, and for Melly B to even put that out there, all because you were butthurt and upset because I gave you a bad review on on the Circle NYC, and nobody was really talking about the Circle NYC nobody really do reviews on that show anymore. Like I said, back in the day, a lot of people would do reviews on the Circle, but for this new season, I was the only one that did a review for the new season first episode. And I want to shout out to some of the cast members that did reach out to me and say, oh my gosh, you were so fun. Let me read. One of the cast members wrote this. Actually, Dwight wrote this from Chasing Dallas. I'm sorry, I keep saying Chasing Dallas. The Circle NYC. The Circle NYC. So he reached out to me and it said this quotes. Hey there, where can I watch your full review of The Circle NYC? I gave him the link and he said, all is well, you're staying safe. And I said, I am. He responded with this. This is Dwight from The Circle NYC. He said this quote, great review. I cracked up. I'm not going to put that. I'm going to just say great review. I cracked up. I'm not going to post because that's a spoiler alert. I don't want y'all to know about that till y'all see it. And then this is another one he said. He said he has some great projects later this year if the virus ends. He said, thanks for honestly and support. It means a lot to have someone cover your boy Noodle's hard work. Stay tuned for more. The first episode seems like a slow intro. Then I responded to him. I responded to Dwight here with this. Yes, thank you so much. I would love to interview you. And Dwight, we put it out there. Then this is Dwight, and D'Angelo has several other huge achievements since your last interview. You're hilarious. Again, D'Angelo is the adult entertainer, and you remember D'Angelo came on the Wiley Show, and Dwight managed D'Angelo. And I said, yes. And Dwight, he said, yeah, I agree with almost everything you're saying. Laughing emojis. And I said, thank you. I would love to interview D'Angelo again. Some are real, though, but I'll save the rest for my interview. Okay? So even he went out and gave his review. I mean, came out, showed me love of the review because it wasn't in a malicious intent. It was a comedic review. And what it did was brought more attention to the show. So if any of you all want to see the show that we're talking about, the one that have started this, got me into a beef, I would say, or disagreement. But I don't necessarily, in this whole thing, you can definitely, I'm going to post it on here so you all can see it. Give me a second. Let me see it. Post it on here so you all can see it. Let me put that in there. Let's see. There we go. All right. Where we at?
About fucking time, babe.
There we go. So here we go right then and there. Let me screen share it. This is the show that we are talking about. So if you all have not watched the show, that is the show. It almost got 4,000 hits. That's the show. Let me see if y'all can see it. And y'all could definitely go view that show, The Circle NYC. So that is definitely a dope web series. So I reviewed the first episode, gave Melly B. Let me show the part that Melly B was upset. He was upset because of him riding the horse. Let me see. Do I have the
after me actually tag?
Do I have the part of him riding the horse? Yeah. So this is the part of him with the horse, getting on the horse, riding the horse. He was mad because of me talking about him being on the horse. Now, I didn't think all of that would have just been a bad problem of me talking about him riding a horse, but he was definitely upset. Okay. I said the horse was ugly. He got mad about the entire situation and was upset. A couple other people in this sector was talking about, well, you would know why Melly B is in Atlanta if you watch the show. I did not watch the last season. I'm sorry, because I just didn't see an interest in watching it. Okay. I have no interest in watching the last season. I am going to watch this season, and I had agreed with the producer that I was going to do a review. So, of course, we did the review about that, him getting on the horse, riding the horse, and I did a review about him riding the horse and everything like that. And so he was upset about it. He accuses me of lying on him. He says he's going to sue me for defamation of character if I keep going with the lies. So he wrote a couple of stuff. Let me see if I can read some of the stuff that he wrote. He posted this. He said, let me go to it. It was a lot. Okay. He said, B, I have much more. Keep playing with me. You mad over review? I responded to LOL. No, you are effing disrespectful, and you are typical effing F word. No, I'm an F word. Girl, stop it. Then he said this, quote, this is Melly B again. He said, review your F up life. Do that. I said I did my job, and I responded to him, I did my job, and I talked about the show. If you don't like it, you could have called me. LOL. Melly B said, like I said, and I responded, I talk about my life every day. Melly B responded, leave me the F alone and keep my name out your mouth. If you're going to make false allegation rumors about me, that's what I have a problem with. Say what the F you want, but you will not say lies. And I told him, stop it. And then Melly B responded to me, no, B, you stop it. And then I responded to him, you're doing too much. If you bad, come on my show. Melly B responded, you already owe the effing world money. You don't want to owe me, sis. I said, and then I responded, lawsuit over a review. Melly B responded, I ain't coming on your tired ASS show. Have your opinion, but if you make up another lie about me, I will light your ASS up, period. I said, I can't, and then I responded, I can't wait to until the next episode come out. And then Melly B said, thanks for watching. No problem, bro. And then I responded to him, no problem, bro. You got to stop taking stuff so serious. No B, this is Melly B. No B, watch your mouth. Do that S with them other B's. And then I I responded to him, I'm going to always give my opinion. Melly B responded, like I said, you have your own opinion. Make up another lie about me. And then I said, and then I responded to Melly B. I said, name the lies. Tell Nico to call me. And Melly B responded, also, don't mess me with compliments and requests to come on your show. That's fake S. And then Melly B said, B, don't nobody want to call your tired A. I responded to him and said, I sent that email a long time ago. And then Melly B said, B, you sent that email this year and you sent me more than one, boo. Then I responded, now you digging up info I already talked about millions of times. Girl, have a seat, B. And then Melly B responded, I ain't digging SHIT. Then Melly B said, people are messaging me with all your T, BITCH, STFU. And live your pathetic life. Then Melly B said, no one cares to know about your basic ASS life. Then Melly B said, you are a hater. Melly B also said, I'm always a nothing A, B, mad at other guys actually living life and doing something with it. And then Melly B said, you're sad and I feel sorry for you. And I said, girl, this girl, you don't feel sorry for me. B, you are fake. You can't handle a blogger talking about your tired A. Then Melly B responded, no, I really do. Melly B said, I just told you the STFU. And I said, I responded, oh, really? Melly B said, I'm confused. So why are you still talking to me? And then I responded to Melly B, you care about me? ? Melly B responded, before today I did, but now I see why people say what they say about you. You are a effing fraud. And then I responded, fraud? I just do commentary. Melly B responded, no, you do AFAGGOTRY. And then I responded, oh, it's just this one episode review. No telling. Next week, I could be singing your praises. And of course, I sent him some voice notes. And he responded, it ain't about you having an opinion. Do what you want, but do not slander my name with lies. I'm not handling it. Then I sent him another voice note. And then he said this, I heard you were entertained by this, so good night. I said what I said. Take me for a joke if you want to. And of course, I sent him another voice note. So all of that was because of a review off of the show. Off of one review. Not off the third review. Not off a fourth review. He said, this is off a one episode review. Lord, this sounds about right according to you. All this interaction on Patreon last night after Wiley Show. Yeah, so this is all over a review. Not that we had any resurrection. We never met in person. We never talked on the phone privately. We never sent each other text messages. We never ate for brunch or dinner or lunch. All of this is because of a bad review he did not like. All of this. He loves the horse. Case closed. He loved the horse. All right. So of course we're gonna release a statement. This morning we're gonna release a statement. So this morning. So if anybody, we're gonna release a public invitation to JuankiPro. He's more than welcome to come on the show. So of course, I just released it on the YouTube. Let me go to, okay, we don't have any calls. We're going to bring this show to a close. Let me go to my YouTube. We go to the community tab and I will show you all that. Okay. Of course, I'm probably going to be deleting some disrespectful out the water comments because I already know somebody ain't going to know how to act. So let me, so we did it publicly. And of course, I will try to track down his email to email him this for an interview. All right, so let me show you all the statement that we just released on YouTube. Okay. Dear JuankiPro, I would like to cordially invite you to the Wiley Show for a formal discussion regarding the public accusations made by Melly B concerning our one and only interview conducted approximately 2 years ago. The public deserves to know the truth, and only you can help provide clarification. I hope you consider having this conversation. Thank you, Wiley. Okay, so we definitely released that this morning, and so we are looking forward to that. So if he want to come on the show, he is more than welcome. The door is open. All right. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this lovely, lovely morning. If you missed the first segment, I highly suggest you go back and watch it. Thank you to all of my producers, to all of the moderators. Thank you for that. Great work. All right. All right. Thank you. Peace and blessings. See you all later.